afternoon, good evening, good morning, and hello YouTube. This is Wow Sly. I've done some videos on my bug out bags in the past, and I normally put them into practice every week or two by taking them out of part of the Charlie Tango DX on a Sunday afternoon. So the bug out bag as a kit works well with the hobby of portable radio, and of course its main function is a 72-hour bug out bag. As most of you know, I started with this 25 litre, I can't remember exactly what it is, 20 something litre tactical assault bag. It's the cheap version. It's not a branded name. It's not high spec. It was about £25-30. Can't remember now. I'll say around the £30 mark. As you can see, it's got large pocket in the front, smaller pocket, middle section to the bag, and then the main section, pocket for maps and so on. Absolutely molly over anything that can be mollied. Power cord on the zip, so you can access it with gloves. A couple of straps on either side, compression straps. I normally put jackets and things in there, but I could add pockets and pouches. I mean, these sort of thing here, and water bottles and that can go on the straps on the molly. There's a big one underneath to put kit mat, sleeping bag, items of clothing. This particular bag hasn't got a chest strap, but it has got a waist strap just to stop it from wobbling around a little bit. So we won't go into that one today because I've done that before, I think, or we'll come back to it another day. Because the main fiddly part of the kit, which I call my day bag, if I'm going out for the day on my bike, I can just wear this one bag around my waist, or I can dump it in the trailer. Let's see, exterior now. It consists of a waterproof ground sheet. It's like a heavy nylon, and black plastic, sort of keep the moisture off you. Then I've got my Canon binoculars, and then what I call my fiddly pouch. Anything that's fiddly. If you see my other videos, this used to be an EDC, but now it's just odds and ends go in there. And then I've got the bigger pouch, cooking, first aid, obviously, water bottle, cup, and lighter. It's only a litre, but I've got more bottles of water in there. But again, this is just basically my day bag, and if I am going somewhere, that one will normally set up my shelter, and then this one will go inside the shelter. A fleece, because you don't want to be digging for a bag. If you need the extra bit of clothing. I've got a jumper in that one. Again, sometimes I prefer to put a fleece on than a jumper, so I'd rather have it on my day bag than save actually digging for a bag to get it out. It fits on the top there nicely. So yeah, all goes around the waist quite well, as you can sort of see. Right, so like I said, Canon binoculars. Don't need to get them out ready. They're all rubber, so they're shockproof, waterproof. Fantastic pair of binoculars. I've had those quite a few years. We'll go through this one. This is the one that gets seen the most. 3 bottles of meths. Call it a 72-hour bag. Because I've got a homemade meth stove, which works fantastic. I use this a lot. And literally, I can cook a tin of all-day breakfast on half a bottle of mess. About a quarter, so I can cook a meal and have 2 coffees with that. But the mess stove will sit inside there with these cut down to size tent pegs, which probably won't be able to be inserted one-handed while I'm videoing, but the amount of times I've done this one-handed, there we go, sort of like that. There you go, sits in there. It's about 4 or 5 mil beneath the surface, so there's a nice bit of airflow, and my mess tins fit on there, and my my cup from there. But of course, if I don't use mess, I can fill it with sticks and twigs. I've used it before, well, quite a lot now. Fantastic. You know, a lot of people make these themselves. You can buy a similar thing anywhere in town or high streets. You can buy a stainless steel utensil holder. That's all it is. I've got the Dremel out, cut a hole at the front so I can feed fuel to it. Easy for lighting. Save trying to drop matches in, or flint and steel right to the base where you'll have your starter. Dremeled that out, rounded it all off so it's not sharp. It's probably the most important thing of my kit, because I need to cook, I need heat. I mean, that'll do as a fire for heat without having to actually have a fire pit or anything. It's contained. I can purify water with the fire. And if I'm using sticks, I've got a tiny little homemade base out of an old PC tower. It's about a centimetre off the ground, just to let air get sucked in from the bottom, so it's black. Yeah, it's got holes there, but on a flat surface, it's not going to get a lot of air. If you can see, you can't see it, but yeah, sufficient holes there for air. So that's the cooking side of things. There's 2 or 3 ways of cooking there. You can combine the two. First aid kit, I've gone through that before. It's pretty much a standard first aid kit, and then I squeezed in a few extras because the basic first aid kits you buy are a bit crap. So I've got extra everything in there, 2 of most things, and that's it. This pouch is waterproof. Got a drainage hole at the bottom. Quick release. Use it with gloves. You can velcro it shut. Or you can use that to extend it, to have it open another 2-3 inches. Get more gear in. I like that closed so I don't have to every time I open it. And this is a Highlander one. It's quite dear. I mean, I've seen these for about £7 or £8 on eBay. I think I paid about £15 for this. It's got more webbing, metal attachments at the top, and in there it's got the metal spikes. It works well with my Viper belt I've got, which is a Velcro belt with a big plastic buckle at the front. So you put the spikes in, shut the Velcro on the belt, stops it from sliding around. Fantastic bit of kit. I've had that for a few years now. Very hard wearing. Right, as I said, won't go into binoculars. Bottle, I think it's called the cadet version. It's not a Crusade or anything. It's 1 litre. Pretty much standard, nothing special. And the cup, which is a 2-handed job, unfortunately, just because of the rim around the top of the cup. It likes to get stuck in the stitching. Because this has got the fleece to stop it from freezing overnight. As you can see, the cup's had a fair bit of use now. I generally don't like it. Does clean off. I just can't be asked because it makes more mess cleaning off. Just give it a wipe. Inside's clean. Again, it's not the big Crusader cup. They don't fold and lock. But for the price of that, absolutely fantastic bit of kit. Again, comes in there. Drainage hole at the bottom. Just DPM, British Army DPM. And the fleece, not sure how effective that is. I've seen people's videos before where it has stopped them from freezing over if you are out for the night. I won't take this out because it's a bugger to get back in for the sake of the video. It's just a standard issue pound shop ground sheet. just as a spare. I never really use it. I don't think I've used it, but it was £1, and it fits in the bit that hits the back of your back, the lower part of your back. So it gives you an extra bit of padding. It's multi-purpose, and if I do need a spare ground sheet, I've got one. Alright, let's get the fleece off. Just a black fleece. I like black. Alright, the front pocket. Again, the zips have all got cords on them, so you can grab them with gloves on. I've got my regatta double line fleece, thermostat. Is it thermo? Could ever pronounce that. I'm certainly not going to try it on there on video. But I've had this decades. I wore this for about 6 years doing nights. It's getting a bit tatty now, but that is a warm hat, and you can always pull it down if you are sleeping. You can pull that right down over your eyes, comes down to your nose. That'll keep you warm, and then keep the sun off you. Just a standard cap. I've had this a long time now. Used to be my preferred outdoor shooting hat. Used to always wear that when shooting. Beak down over the scope just to keep the sun out. And now it sits in the bug out bag. Hats are quite a popular thing when I'm out. I do like wearing hats. They keep crap out your hair. A space blanket, just in case it does turn cold when I'm out for the day. But I do have 2 more in the first aid kit. No, 1 more in there and 1 more in the main bag. But again, the day bag has 1 stuffed in there. Then on this side, waterproof jacket and trousers. They're a nightmare to get in, so we won't be taking them out. And on this side, a pair of work gloves, just like a couple of quid from the hardware store. Warrior or something, nothing special, sort of rubberized for grip. I've worn these for years for all sorts, from building work to mechanic, gardening. Cheap, and you know, do the job. The important thing, a spare strap. I can't remember what this came off, but I've got a few of these lying around the house. Very handy in case a strap breaks on something, or you want to attach something else to your gear. Always carry a spare strap. You might use a belt. You might want to keep wearing your belt. So yeah, just carry a spare strap. It's adjustable. It's about 1.5 to 2 inches thick. Some spare paracord. A small clip. Strap thing. A few lengths of strong cord. 2 meters of shoelace. There's 2 shoelaces there. And they're 1 meter long each. Just took them out of old trainers, because they're handy in case your shoelaces break, or just extra handy for cordage. These things are great. I've got 2 of these. The third one's there, but one of the clips broke, but it's still worth keeping. These work great with the webbing on the bags, because you can just clip these onto the webbing. They rotate, they pivot 360 degrees. They fold 180, and there's a clip on each side. And they're about 8 inches long, so I can strap things quite easily to my person. A bulldog clip, very handy, well worth carrying. Never used it yet, but the weight of it and the size, it'd be stupid to take it out in case I ever need it one day. So that's all the pockets done. The main compartment is my fire starting kit. It's just got cotton wool, tampons, matches. It's not totally waterproof, that box, but it's probably, yeah, it'll take a lot. I have to submerge that completely to get the contents wet, and I don't plan on being submerged in water. Coffee, powdered milk, and sugar. Yeah, it's a 72-hour bag, but there's enough there for about a week. My long spoon, as I've mentioned before, I love long spoons, and this was obtained due to a visit to a pizza restaurant. They brought me a nice latte in a big tall glass, so I half-inched the spoon, add that away because it's a nifty bit of kit. my Wilkinson's cheap folding saw, mentioned before. It was very cheap, but very good for the for what it is. Got 2 meters of paracord on there. I've cut trees probably the thickness of my leg with that, and it's been fine. Anything thicker than my leg, it will struggle with. Again, it was don't quote me, about a £5. It's not the best. It could be considered the worst because of the brand, but you know, a saw's a saw. It's all tools are what they are, depending on whose hand they're in. So remember that. You know, you can have a £1 million hammer, and it could do the same job as a pound hammer, depending on who's holding it. And then my tool bag. This is an old hairdresser attachment bag, accessory bag. I used to have one of these for spanners, but it ripped over the years. And then I come across this hairdresser's bag thing. They put combs and whatnot in there. I don't know, but it serves a purpose better for me. Set of screwdrivers and Allen keys. Allen keys and screwdrivers. Multi-tool, knife, screwdrivers, pliers, wire cutters, saw. Sawness is fantastic. Adjustable spanner. Handy again because I part of my bug out equipment is a bike. Small Phillips, small flat. If I've got any thing going wrong with my radios, I need small screwdrivers. Stanley knife with a belt clip, so it just clips on there. These are great little knives. We all recognise these. This particular pair will cut through a 2p piece. Blue marker, a black marker, and a biro. That's just pinged off across the kitchen floor. Might be due for an upgrade. I've had that pen for years. It's metal. I'm a fan of metal pens. Part of my EDC, in my pocket every day I carry a metal pen. But it spins to undo it, and I think it's just spun loose with it been sitting in there for so long. So that's my waste bag, my day kit. Consists from left to right: tea, coffee, sugar, water, waterproofs, ground sheets. The blue one could be used for cover in conjunction with the black and blue one. Straps, laces, gloves, water bottle, first aid, cooking, and clothing. Basically what you need for a day out. And quickly, while I've got time, we'll try and go through my bits and bobs. This was only a couple of quid, this bag. But I've got spare batteries for my head torch. Actually, I've got a couple of torches that take AAAs, so I've got some spare ones there. Little sewing kit. And in there, the bottom of my walking stick. Some tape. A compass. Probably doesn't work that well in the house. It's got a backlight too. Lights up blue. No comments in the compass, it's just in there for the sake of it. And some earplugs. And that's it. Nice and orange inside, so in low light you can see your items, unlike you can in there. If anything's in there at the bottom and it's dark, you won't see it. There we go. One waste bag, which works in conjunction or separately to the main part of the bug out bag. But without the pair, these bags can work separately, but if I had to grab the bug out bag, I'd grab them both. But if I had to drop one of them, I'd drop that one. That's got extra water and shelter, some extra clothing and food. But of course, that bag will not work without this. But this bag will work in its own. So this is my day bag if I'm going out for the day. But generally I do take that one with me. Because you never know if the weather's going to change and I might need more shelter. So, any questions or comments, feel free. Give me some advice. Give me some trolling. Give me some attitude. there we go. Nothing much more to say really. I don't actually know, looking at it now, how it actually fits in that bag, but it just about does. Right, thanks for watching. This is Wow Sly, aka Charlie Tango 941, aka Mike 6 Charlie Tango Papa.